ever post a nigga, then my page hack. Swear to God, the pimpin' in me never played that. Asking for the face, I wanna ride it like a racetrack. Fucked around, forgot his name, he should've wore a name tag. I don't give a fuck, don't give a fuck about a nigga, cause a nigga just a nut.
Welcome back to an all-new episode of the Rated MA podcast. I'm Tavares.
I'm Dabrian.
And I'm Blake.
And today we have some very special guests in the building. I keep telling you guys that Dabrian is a ballroom legend in the legendary House of Balenciaga. So we have some housemates, social media influencer Taryn.
Hi.
And also Jasmine, who is in the House of Balenciaga as well.
Hi.
Also world-renowned porn star Domino Presley. So there was a ball a few weeks ago that Dabrian invited me to. I was excited to see him in his element. I'd only been to one ball before, but I really enjoyed it. So I saw this bad bitch across the room in a sheer get-up with a red lip and some orange hair, and I was like, "Who is that?" it was Taryn. And Dabrian is always talking about his daughter, my daughter. So
Daughters.
Then I saw you at the
She was naked.
the strip club, right? Did you go to the in Northridge, the party?
I don't know.
She had on a green outfit, and I was like, "Am I trans or a lesbian?" Because she was making me feel some kind of way.
I don't remember this.
So I said, "David, we need to call them and have them on." So they're also trans women. So we wanted to talk today about ballroom. We want to talk about your trans life and experience and sex, of course. So tell the people who you are, where you from, how old are you?
I'm Taryn Balenciaga. I'm 25 years old. Born in the Bay Area, and I live in Los Angeles.
Bay Area.
I'm Jasmine Balenciaga, or Domino Presley, and I am in my 30s, and I am from Atlanta, Georgia, but I live in California now.
So before we start with our guests, we like to play a icebreaker called Digging My Sack. So you guys will each keep pulling the questions until we're done.
I'm so scared.
Honestly.
Wait, so how's it go?
All right.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So before I start, these are my daughters. I love them dearly, and I did not write these questions.
The producers did.
We might find out.
So you pick one first.
Today.
Do I read it out loud?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you ever date a trans man?
Oh, that's the question for her.
Yeah. So I dated 3 back-to-back. In my 30s, I've only dated trans men.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's
Was that purposely or just happened that way?
Yes, it was purposely, because at first it felt more like when you're trans and you date somebody else who's trans, like all of a sudden you don't have to explain all your anxiety to them. They get it. Like, going out in public, they understand everything. But dating a trans man is very different than dating a cis man, just like dating that trans woman is completely different.
What's the biggest difference? The anatomy part?
No, actually, no, not the
D.
Yeah.
Would he use a strap on for you? Or?
No, they just act like bitches. So like,
We don't like no bitches.
and, like, well, maybe not all of them, but like
The ones that
I want to be the bitch.
Yeah.
Once our relationship.
Yeah.
What about you? Would you? Have you?
No.
Okay.
I've tried, tried to go that route, and it just hasn't worked out in my favor. So I like to be the dramatic one, and I cannot have my man be the dramatic and doing stunts, and I'm like, not for me.
Next question.
Tavares, would you date a trans man?
I want to date a stud. I don't want to date.
Wait, what?
really?
Yeah. I want one that look like Trey Songz. I don't know.
That'd
be swag.
I like.
What do you mean, like young MA?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
I'm here for it. I don't know what we're gonna do when the sex part comes, but everything
She's gonna wear a strap for you.
Okay.
I
don't know.
Okay.
I just like they be so confident and like
The oral I noticed was better from a trans.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with that.
All right, Taryn. So the next question.
Okay. Have you ever had sex with a celebrity? And yes, I have.
Oh.
And don't give no names. Please.
No, don't give no names. Nobody shooting us up.
Under contract. I don't want to get sued, but
what about you?
Yeah.
That's usually all I do.
Oh, work.
I will say, and I'll just say this, and I won't put anybody's business out, but I was privy to a situation, and I was just like, oh my God. Like, she said it. She was like, yeah, so-and-so is coming over here. And I was just like, okay, like, girls always say that. And the guy came over, and I was like, oh shit, like, Yeah. That's him. So yeah.
How do they, I mean, I don't want you to tell all your business, but how do they find you? Is it social media or just like?
Typically social media, and it's always like a little burner Finsta account, you
Okay.
know, and I'm like, I don't believe this shit. I'm like, I need to see a Snapchat.
FaceTime.
I need to see a FaceTime.
Yes.
And then I was like, oh, okay. Well, all right
All right. Next
I was
question.
like, so what's good?
Oh, me.
Oh, hi.
Wait, Jazz, you didn't answer the question.
Oh,
She said that's all she
Oh,
did.
yeah,
I
you
will
did.
say
Never
The
mind.
reason they meet me because they know who I am because I'm the celebrity to them. I usually don't know who
Oh,
they are.
hey.
Hair flip. Rapper. I'm like,
I was like, go for that. I'm like,
Have y'all
yeah.
ever shared celebrities?
No, we don't do that.
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, like unknowingly, maybe.
No, we pretty much ask.
Oh, okay.
And also, like, if you know who she is, you know who I am. If you know who I am, you know who she is.
Right.
Because we're on each other's social media.
Gotcha.
I just feel like we haven't really
Because we've all
I mean,
shared
I
a-
would be down, but like that.
Look, roll my
Like a
eyes.
threesome?
Now, if we were getting paid accordingly,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
but like it just never came up.
Yeah.
You know?
I would do it. It just,
Yeah.
no.
Do y'all like the same type of men?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, both like rich.
I
go
think I
for
like
rich.
hood niggas.
She likes
Okay.
that.
Oh,
She,
God.
I feel like she likes more white guys.
Oh, okay.
That's what she thinks. I like people who are like successful. I like successful.
Okay.
Like I don't want to.
And it's normally white guys.
No.
Oh.
Go ahead, daughter.
When was the last time you had sex? 2 days ago. Yes. No. Yesterday. Yesterday.
Okay. What about you, Taryn?
I feel like I have cobwebs on my pussy. It's been a while. It's been
Okay.
a while. Maybe like a month.
You trying to be
That's a lot.
celibate or what's the deal?
No, I'm just, doing me right now.
Okay.
So I'm not like out there
Yeah.
searching on the prowl. I'm just doing me. Been busy.
can
So.
When was the last time you had sex, Tavares?
Last night.
Of
Next
course,
question.
darling. On the ride over.
What was it this morning?
What is the best gift you ever received from a man?
Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
Probably my boobs. That was a
Okay.
big gift.
Oh, that is a good gift.
That's a good gift.
And they-
You
and
had
they
to
couldn't-
ask him, or he was just like, "Bitch, I want you
I
to
mean,
look
I
at
was like, I want
Yeah.
this, and he couldn't take them back. So
That's why it's a good gift.
But, yeah,
The gift that keeps on
And you,
giving.
Jasmine?
The Rolex that I'm wearing.
Oh, come on, Rolex. Was that the last
that was
question?
kind.
Awesome.
It got delivered to me.
So
Amen.
before we get into everything else, let's take it back to you guys' story just a little bit. So you guys are from, whatever cities you're from. I forgot what you said.
Atlanta and Oakland. Oakland. Bad bitch from the Bay.
What was
Bad
life
bitch from
growing
the A.
What was life like growing up? Like,
In
how many
Atlanta.
siblings?
I am one of 7, but we're all separated like throughout. Like our parents had like lots of kids with different people.
Okay.
I guess there's like lots of steps.
Okay.
But I'm one of 7. Life was different growing up because I transitioned like back in the day when like stuff was like still old school, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not like it is. It's not like it is anymore at all. And Atlanta's just very different from
Yeah.
California. So like I grew up where I was usually like the only person in school like of a lighter skin tone,
Okay.
which I live for
Right.
because it helped me become the person I am today.
What about you, Taryn?
So I have a baby brother. So we grew up together. We're like 3 years apart. So we were very close growing up and kind of went our ways
Yeah.
as we got older. But growing up in the Bay was a mix. It was definitely a struggle, but I feel like I've always been very strong-minded, so
Yeah.
I can handle it. But moving to LA was like definitely eye-opening for me because
Yeah.
everything is more widely accepted here.
And you've been here how long now?
I'm going on 4 years.
Oh, okay. So like I know like around like 5 years old, I kind of like had an attraction to boys, but I didn't really have the verbiage for it. So when did you guys start feeling like maybe I'm gay and then moving into I'm in the wrong body?
I mean, I knew I was a woman since like preschool. I just didn't have like the vocabulary and the
Right.
education. I didn't know that was a thing, and there wasn't like social media or somebody I could look up to in that sense. So once I learned and educated myself, then I could make that happen for myself.
What did it feel like? Like describe feeling like I'm in the wrong body. I don't know.
I just felt
Exactly.
angry, at the world, and I would just take shit out, and I just wasn't a happy person. So when I was able to like be myself, everything just kind of lined up, and the puzzle pieces fit together.
What about you, Jasmine?
I remember being in like 3rd grade and asking my brother if I could ask this boy out to be my boyfriend. Cause I had a
Yes,
crush on
Jesus.
him. He was like, but my brother was like, if I were you, we lived in a village in Michigan. He was like, I wouldn't do that in my village.
Yeah.
It's the village of Clinton, Michigan.
Our township.
Well, that's the bigger one. I live in the small one, which is only a mile big. So it's over by Adrian. It's very, very small. grew up there, and then he told me not to do that. And then I told one of my elementary school friends that I thought I was supposed to be a girl, and he was like, "You're going to hell if you ever say that again." So then I tried to be as butch and straight as I could until I met a trans woman, which was like right after high school, which was Angelica DePage from Atlanta. And I was just like, "Oh my God, she's so sickening. I love her hair." And they were like, "Yeah, that's her. She's a girl." And they kept like overemphasizing it, and I was like, and they're like, "Yeah, that's her hair," and I was like, "I see the wig cap in the back though, so I know that's not her hair."
The wig
I was
cap.
like, "Why are they lying about this girl?" And I was like, "Oh," one day I saw her like in not her best moment, and I was like, "Oh my God, we can actually become women."
And you guys became friends?
Yeah, immediately.
Awesome. So tell me about the first time you started like playing in like makeup and stuff. What was that transition?
For me, I used to sneak. My grandma was like a beauty queen, beautiful Asian lady, and she was always fab with her makeup. So I used to sneak in the bathroom, and I would like turn the shower on so they thought I was showering, and like just go through the makeup and put it on, and like just live my life and have a little fantasy in the mirror. And then I would shower and try to get it off, and it never fully was able to come off. So everyone would always be like, "Are you wearing eyeliner?" I'd be like, "No."
What's your nationality? What do you mix with?
I'm Chinese, Thai, Filipino, Spanish, and Black.
Wow.
Yeah.
My Asian sister.
Yeah, it's amazing. I even
mixed.
sometimes forget what
Oh,
I am.
you're mixed as well?
I'm Japanese, Native American, and some
Wow.
other shit. But mostly
Y'all look like
Japanese.
stunning. So how old were you when you guys first started to medically transition? Like maybe you got your first hormone shot, or
20.
and then what was that like?
I was getting my hormones in the back of the dressing room at this club called Burkhart's, and Shavonna Brooks would come in with her hormones and sell it to the girls.
That sounds about right.
And I would get my shot in the back of the club, and then they saw us on camera when they started using surveillance cameras, and they're like, "Stop doing that, it looks like you're doing drugs." And she was like, "Who is doing heroin in the butt?"
How often do you have to get the shots?
Back then it was every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Sometimes, it depends on what you're taking. It could be every week, every 2 weeks, or every month.
And then they have like gels, patches, and other stuff too, right?
I just take the pills now because I have too much silicone. I'm worried about like it going
Okay,
through
right.
that, or like,
Yeah.
because I don't want to like die from silicone getting in my
Yeah.
blood.
What about you? How old were you when you started?
I was around 15, and I remember there was this Facebook group called the T-Girl Network.
Okay.
Oh, come on,
So I
guys.
had joined, and I was on there. I know
What,
you know
the
the
fish
story.
tank?
Yes.
So that was back in the day. So it was called the T-Girl Network, but now it's called the Fish Tank. But back then, and then there was this site, I think it was called In-House Pharmacy back then, and you could order hormones on there, and it came from Germany, and it was very illegal. Like you would get like chopsticks, and then the hormones would be in there.
Oh, okay.
So I used to do that when I was 15, and it was not.
So you were
cheap.
15, but who was like guiding you through this whole process?
Nobody. I kind of did it.
Oh,
Just
wow.
like Googling stuff.
But yeah, I started like on the internet, and then like I started watching YouTube, and I would see that girls were transitioning on there and telling their story, and I was like very inspired by a lot of different girls on there. And I didn't really have like trans friends or anybody. I was kind of by myself. So that happened later in life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just kind of did it on my own and researched and figured it out.
So I was reading some excerpts from Janet Mock's book, and she was saying that her family started helping her transition around 12. Like they gave her hormone blockers and stuff. So how do you guys feel about the whole Zaya Wade thing with?
I think that's the smartest thing to do because like no child at that age is like, people say, what if they change their mind? They don't.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
Kids who transition too. Like when kids know it as a child, they know it. Like let them do their thing. If you hold them from it, you're just gonna make them suffer in the wrong body for like longer, and they're gonna eventually either be extremely depressed or kill themselves, which is the last thing you want.
I don't think people give kids enough credit. Like kids are very smart, intelligent human beings.
The
and
ones
they
who
know.
want to transition in their adulthood, like later on, like now that it's such a trend, the ones who are like, I think I should transition.
Right.
Those are the bitches that I don't want transitioning.
Yeah. Because a lot of times when you go like, if you go the insurance route, they make you do some kind of like
You have to get like
therapy first before they start giving you.
Yeah, and it's really not as hard. Like I mean, I just had to do that because I
Or just like a couple appointments.
switched doctors, but like literally, he like I walked in the room, he looked at me, he was like, "Oh, so when are we starting?"
It's like, oh, check. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were the first notable changes when you first started taking hormones?
My titties, that was it.
Like they
Oh,
just
my
started
face.
growing?
Yeah, my titties like I started getting like hormone titties.
Okay.
And they like little Hershey's Kisses. And they're very
like big nipples.
Like Tavares's.
And everyone was like, are you on hormones? I'd be like, why? They're like, we can see it through your shirt. And then so that was the first.
It's just cold in here.
And then what would change in your face?
It got softer and I feel like my nose is it's smaller when I'm on my hormones, and then when I'm off of them, it gets a little bit wider.
Oh, really?
There's features in your face that just go away.
Now, does it make you moody, the hormones?
Oh my God, extremely. We're psychotic.
Really?
So if you are on hormones, I strongly suggest taking an antidepressant or something as well.
Really?
Because if you don't, then you're just a psycho bitch, and in your head, you feel like everything's right because that's what you're going through. But everyone around you is like, oh my God, she's crazy. So if you take an antidepressant, it kind of levels it out.
You had the same experience?
Sorry, what was the question?
Does it make you moody when you take your hormones?
You know what? It depends. I think for me, everybody's different. So I feel like it kind of mellows me out, calms me down. I feel more clear-headed for me, and I feel more crazy when I'm not on hormones. Yeah. Just rager.
Does it increase or decrease your sex drive?
I would say that it kind of decreases my sex drive from a male point of view.
Okay.
And it decreases in that way, and then increases from I don't know, in a feminine way. It's weird. I'm definitely still horny, but not how it would be as a man.
You go from wanting to fuck everything, oh, I want to fucking stick my dick in that, to oh my God, he could film that.
Yeah, it's kind of I don't really want to be out there topping and doing all that shit, and I just want to get fucked.
And I was always told that just coming up around a lot of trans girls in ballroom that they're crazy. That was always the thing. Oh, they crazy. You could be cool with them, but they crazy. So I've always
definitely crazy.
I think we're all a little crazy.
We're also running around with people constantly telling us they don't understand us and that we're crazy. So we're always being told we're
and being
crazy.
rude.
Well, when I transitioned, it was a medical thing. You could get money from the government if you would just say that you were crazy because you were trans.
Oh, really?
So now it's
well, it was they considered it to be a mental disorder for a lot of years, and that recently just changed.
Thank God.
Wow.
Mm.
So when I lived in Atlanta,
I will take the check though.
I'm
Got the check, Biden.
when I lived in Atlanta, I knew a lot of trans girls, and I used to hear that they would try not to masturbate because they didn't want the hormones to leave their body.
That's a lie.
Is that a lie?
You have to. Well, they do that. I heard that
Everybody
all the time.
needs a good
You
release.
have to let it out. If you let it sit in there, I feel like it's testosterone building up. All that stuff is just testosterone.
That makes sense.
When we're off of our hormones, don't you want to cheat on somebody? The second that you have a boner, you're like, I'm gonna go cheat on. I want to go fuck everybody. I'm gonna get my nut, and then you masturbate, and when you're done, you're like, oh, silly me.
Oh yeah. That's exactly how it
I
is.
think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
They say porn is bad. I'm like, no, we're saving marriages.
Yeah.
Exactly. Before he goes and cheats on you.
No, I agree with that.
So when it comes to plastic surgery, how much research did you guys do before you went to your doctors or found your doctors?
I did none.
None? How did you find your first whatever?
I had a friend who had nice boobs, and I was like,
Who'd you go to?
Yes.
Yeah, and she took me, and then I was botched, and then he had to do it again.
No.
The same doctor did it again?
Yeah, which I didn't know. I wasn't supposed to. They're lovely now.
They
are great.
I think she did.
I think I'm more the plastic surgery connoisseur.
I like that.
But I've done a couple things.
How did you start getting put on to who to go to?
Well, I kind of had an idea of what I wanted and what would look good for me, and I don't know if it's kind of fucked up, but I let my friends be the guinea pig first. Because I was like, you go and I'll see how it turns out. And
At least you
I heard he good.
But I literally told them that. So I was like, yeah, you go, and then I'll see if I
At least you were honest.
And so, my friends would get certain things done, and I'm like, okay, so I know not to go there, and I know to go there. So, I got my boobs done with Dr. Gray in San Francisco, and he's amazing.
Y'all have really good work.
I was gonna say, don't they say there? I've heard from some people that there's certain doctors that people go to and they ask for the tearing now.
Yeah, I have. I got my face done in Texas, which is super random, but people literally from trans girls from all over will fly there and say, "Oh, I want the tearing."
Is that the face feminization?
Yeah.
What is they shave down the jawbone or something?
Yeah. So I had kind of did a lot. I had a jaw shave, and I did a chin shave implant. I did a lip lift, a nose job, and a brow bone shave. and I get like fillers here.
Is
and
it
there.
painful?
She was stunning before that.
Yeah.
She was always beautiful.
No, I just wanted, a little
Yeah.
snatch.
And now I want to go to her
little
doctor, and she's
something.
like, "No, don't do it." I'm like,
I don't think you need
You okay? I want to get that tearing.
I just get fillers.
Oh my God, you look great.
I just don't think
She was
you-
I look like my mom.
They
so,
both
like,
were very attractive as boys, like extreme. Like I would have dated them back then.
Were
They
y'all
both
dating
very-
gay boys as gay boys or not?
I've never been in
I
a
was-
gay relationship
I
or
was one after
dated a
straight
gay
man.
man.
Are you guys attracted to guys who identify as gay or like straight men?
straight men. Gay men don't like
This
us.
is the thing. Gay men are like
Are y'all trying to fuck us?
Well, I'm saying who you're attracted to.
I mean, there have been times where I'm like, okay, I'm down. What's up?
Yeah.
And then they're just not like down like that. They like men, and that's just not what we're given.
Right.
So, it's always straight guys.
They
that
like
are-
to flaunt them. They like to be around them, and they like to say how beautiful they are, and
Right.
they like to praise them.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the get down.
Yeah.
Like,
Because when I lived in Atlanta, all the trans girls had the niggas. Like, how y'all be these fine ass niggas?
well,
You got to be pretty, baby.
I'll say this. I'll say this about that because I've had an experience with a trans in Atlanta.
What you mean?
Well,
Excuse me?
a trans woman in
What?
Atlanta.
Oh wait, I think I know this story.
I
Can't
won't
tell
say,
it.
I won't
I think
say
I
her
know
name,
it.
and I'll make it very brief. But I was leaving a club one night, and I was drunk off my ass. And there were a couple trans women in the car, and I knew them, and they knew where I lived. And I was like, "Oh, can you take me home?" And the one girl that I knew was like, "Yeah, get in the car." So I got in the back seat. In the back seat was a very popular trans woman and her boyfriend, and they were like kissing, tonguing down. And I was just like over there, like. And she reached over and started feeling on me while she was kissing her boyfriend. And I was like, no, stop. And then she like grabbed me by my neck. I was like 21, 22 at the
Okay.
time. And she grabbed me by my neck and pulled me into them and was just like, you won and I'm the best of both worlds. Like, why are you playing? You know I won it. I got all this dick. You really don't want this dick? And I was like...
And you were like, yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I just watched you perform like Beyonce. Like, you really give me this.
But give me that shit.
But the point that I'm trying to make is in Atlanta, especially when I was coming up, it was a thing for the trans girls to have little young butch queens. Like, it was the thing. They walked around, and the butch queens were so fascinated by these beautiful women. It was just like, okay, I guess, yeah.
The ones that I was meeting in Atlanta, they had like 9.5 inches of dick, and they was telling me they was verse tops. Like, I'm trying to fuck on you. And
for
I'm
sure.
like,
She told me whatever I wanted. If I wanted ass, I can get it. If I wanted dick, she got a lot of it.
so did you get it?
Hey,
I
man.
did not, and I got out the car and I ran and I felt like I was being raped or something. You know that whole like you need to go home and wash yourself. Like,
Just look in the mirror like,
yeah, but now I've evolved as a person and I'm very attracted to trans women and I'm also very attracted to trans men. I've never acted on it, but I do find them attractive.
I do. I did watch a trans porn not that long ago, and I was kind of like intrigued.
Yeah.
It was a trans.
was she in it?
It was a trans man.
Okay.
He was riding dick, but I was like,
Well, yeah,
probably my ex.
and I've seen there's this one I actually watched.
Sounds
sometimes,
familiar.
And he the dude kept secret, and he
Oh,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
banging out one of them,
Was
and I was
he?
like, oh my
I like
God,
his
that's so
porn.
hot. Cause it's
do you guys watch T.S. Madison's porn? Have you ever seen it?
I have accidentally stumbled upon
I have too.
photos, but I don't really watch. I like men.
What do you watch on porn category? What's your go-to porn category?
I like niggas.
Yeah.
I need amateur.
Them
porn.
fucking a bitch or like fucking a guy?
I like amateur too. Like sometimes when it's like very crisp and clear and like scripty,
Yeah, super produced,
It just
yeah.
I don't really like that. I like it to just be like, okay, we putting the iPhone down. And
I know all of them. So like when
Yeah.
it's like a certain scene, I'm like, oh, this poor person had to work with that director. Oh, in the background, like, why didn't they clean that?
I feel like porn hits different now.
Yeah,
for
like
me,
now-
because like I know everybody through you. So it's like when I'm watching, I'm like, ugh, there goes that dumbass
So
nigga
hold on. So let's talk
set.
about that. How did you end up getting into porn?
There's like 3 different things that added up to it, or maybe just 2. I had a boyfriend who said you would be good at porn, and I was an escort at the time, and it seemed like a safer route to go because escorting can be very dangerous.
Yes.
And also, I had auditioned for a very famous drag show on season 2 or for season 2, and they at the time weren't taking trans people and were very obvious about it. And so when they said that, I was kind of bitter, and one of my friends detransitioned to go on the show, so I was like, I'm going to be famous somehow.
Yes.
So I went and did porn, and then I became the...
Awesome. So the person that was telling you would be good at it, they knew some producers or something?
No, they were just like, you would look good in porn.
They just knew the box was good.
Back then, trans porn was not like, they didn't have like glamazon goddesses.
Yeah.
It was mostly like the booger next door and like
And how did you?
the girl next door. And so then I came through and well, like no, I wasn't the only famous one. There were some.
She showed up and
before.
showed out.
Yeah.
How long have
But, like,
you been
I
doing
went drag with it over 10 years now.
Oh, nice. Damn.
And now I host the Transgender Erotica Awards, which
Come
T.S.
on.
Madison was the host of before me.
I love it. So, what percentage of the community in the trans community would you say actually do sex work versus having a 9-to-5 job?
90%.
Really?
I would agree with that.
That's a good number.
Even the trans men, like they might not say it. Nobody might admit to it. Even these really famous trans women who are very, very famous, all started on the same
Come on,
website.
look in the camera.
Your history.
Yes.
When you guys were younger, what did you think your life would be like? What were the career ambitions or?
This. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Ready to hang.
Or what does retirement look like?
Oh, that sucks.
Like saving money?
I mean, I was a little delusional when I was younger. I thought 25, I'm gonna be married in a house, you know,
Yeah.
rich. I think a lot of people feel that way, but you know, reality sets in and
Yeah.
Right.
you know, I'm not married.
Yeah,
No, they're in
same
the
here.
house,
Same
but I'm
here.
still here.
You will.
Same here.
You know, yeah, retirement. I, you know, want to be on the beach, have a dog, house,
Oh.
husband.
I have to
Same-
physically save for my retirement because there is no retirement
Right.
in porn or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
escorting.
Oh, you don't have to.
Are you conscious about that?
Well, I
You-
mean, like, you think I don't have to because I date rich men, but you have to because they're not going to be around forever. There will always be a
Well,
younger,
just
hotter
Yes.
trans.
save
okay.
the coin.
That's, yeah, I mean, like, these things are all like, you know, you can get rid of them if you need to.
You can always.
Now, I've always heard for the ones that do sex work that the ones who who don't have the bottom surgery are more lucrative. Is that true?
This is true.
Okay. Because it's more of like a
It's true.
fantasy.
That's kind of what I guess somebody who would be seeking out trans women are looking for,
Mm.
that best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And it's like when you know you have that surgery, what's really the difference between you
right.
and just a cisgender woman?
That's what they
And-
think, but there's a whole different personality.
True. But you know, it's like from my experience, like just most men, that's what they want. That's what they
Right.
like.
So do you feel like a lot of trans women who probably will want the surgery don't get it just so they can make money?
Some.
Okay.
I don't know. I
But
feel
then
like
there's also girls who like want it and then they realize that they don't really like now in today's society we're
Yeah.
realizing we don't need that to be women.
Yeah.
It's almost like
Right.
I don't like why would I want to be a cisgender woman?
I mean, a lot of people they would get it in the hopes that like, you know, they would normalize everything and they think they're gonna live this
Yeah.
perfect life,
Right.
but it's like you're still trans at the end of the day.
Because I also know a lot of trans women who don't even want to be affiliated with the gay community. They want to just live in
Yeah.
suburbia and like.
And that's really sad.
And pass.
I think
Yeah.
that's
Or
Yeah, I agree.
What do you guys think about like the dating part? Do men sexualize you all the time, or do they kind of want to date and also offer you love?
definitely sexualized.
And are you okay with that, or do you want to be in a relationship?
It kind of depends. I don't mind being sexualized respectfully.
Yeah.
But you better like come at me correct. Don't
Right.
be disrespectful because that's what won't be tolerated.
When you guys get horny, like, do you have to think more safely because people are trying to like I don't know. Do you do one night stands? Do you meet people on Jack? Like,
Oh, we don't.
Are you
I
worried
don't do
about getting,
jacked.
like, killed?
I wouldn't be on jacked.
or whatever the site is. What are the sites?
You can just go on her DM.
Instagram.
I'm not really okay, so because I'm in porn, I am very like I know that I get sexualized,
Right.
and I'm like if you're gonna fetishize me, I'm gonna profit off of it.
Yes.
Amen.
So because of that, though, I'm also very usually I'm very wary who I have sex with. Like if I'm dating somebody, I make them wait usually around 6 months before we have sex because I want you to fall in love with me and all my
Yes.
craziness before I let you get in this hole.
Yes.
So
you've been in love before.
Oh yeah,
Of course.
That's great.
I love myself.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, I have like pieces. Like I will have like probably like 10 guys in my number that like I've fucked with over the years that I know they're safe, they're good at what they do, they're gonna get me off, and it just like is what it is, fun, good times. And when I need to, I'll just be like, "What's up? Come over." I don't
Yeah.
really like new new date.
Yeah.
You never know how it's gonna be.
Right.
Like,
But that's kind of sort of exciting too. I like the idea of sleeping with somebody new because you never know what you're gonna get, and you get that like adrenaline rush. Like, ooh, is it gonna be bomb? Is it gonna be big? Is it gonna be little? I just don't know. You get those butterflies in your stomach, but then sometimes it'll end up being trash.
Always.
No, not always. Because sometimes you'll sneak up on that good one and you'll be like, oh my god, that was so
Very
bomb.
rare. That's a unicorn.
That's what I do. I do it for the unicorns.
Or sometimes you meet a fine nigga, you put him on a pedestal, and you be like, ooh, and then you get him, you be like, you a lame ass.
well, I like to treat them like shit.
That actually really happens.
I feel like when you give a nigga your ass to kiss, they treat you better.
All right, well, I have work in the morning, so you gotta go.
Yeah,
Do you guys normally approach men or no?
Oh, absolutely. I treat men like men treat women, and they can't handle it. Like, they don't know how to deal with that, and so they're like, oh my god, what the fuck are you?
So you just flirt, or you be like, come
No,
fuck
I'm
me.
like, let me see your dick. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm very
Yeah.
however towards women all the time. I'm very disrespectful.
Yeah.
towards
Amen.
Straight cis women or straight cis men because they deserve it.
Yeah, they do.
Hashtag
I
Dabrian's
feel like I'm
daughters.
more like a shy hoe. I would describe myself as a shy hoe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm very like naked in the club, and I'll be like, I might give a glance, but I'm not. You know, I like to be
Pursued.
pursued. Yes.
Yeah.
I like to feel special.
Yeah, me
Oh, no,
too.
he's
Yeah.
cute. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you, come here, suck her dick.
I know, literally.
And what? So
like,
with the guys that you guys normally meet, are they already aware that you might you're trans, or is that always a conversation?
Typically, I would have to have that conversation. Every time I've ever assumed, oh, they know.
Yeah.
They never know.
Yeah.
They normally be with it, or it's kind of like
I
tell
would say
nobody.
50%.
Oh, that's good.
I've never had anyone where I told them and they didn't know and they weren't still down
Right.
with that. So like they would still, they still put it in even after I told them.
Awesome. So let's talk ballroom a little bit. How did you guys all end up in the ballroom scene? And tell people who don't know what balls are, what they are, and what it's about.
So balls are, think of it as gangs getting together to compete against stuff, but instead of shooting each other or getting violent, we perform in different categories. And whoever comes out the best with the most wins, that's the gang or the house that won for that moment, that fight, that battle royale. And then I got into ballroom because I've been obsessed with it since like I was a teenager, and I would study Laomi, and so I'd be like that white girl doing drag shows and voguing, and they were like, "What the fuck is this? Why are you flopping around on the floor?" I'm like, "You just don't know." And then I was in a house. I was in Aviance, but they're not a competitive house. And then I went to a ball, and Mariah Balenciaga saw me there, and she was like, "They're setting you up." She's like, "Next time you want to do a ball, come with me."
Yes.
And then that's how it kind of started. And then she introduced us to Dabrian, and they inducted us into Balenciaga, and it's been like uphill ever since.
What's your story, Taryn?
I didn't really. I feel like my generation a little bit. I didn't really have knowledge of ballroom. I don't really know anything about it. I've never been to a ball, and I was doing just like drag because being in LA, a lot of beautiful trans women do drag. So I was very inspired by that, and I remember I was doing a show, and then after Mariah Balenciaga came up to me and she was like, "You ever been in a house?" And I was like,
recruiting everybody.
Okay.
And I'm just like, what's that? Like, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
I was just very ignorant. And so she was like, come to this thing. We're going to make it happen for you. And I was like, should I do it? And I'm talking to her, and she was like, yeah, we're doing it. So
So how long have you guys been friends?
we're going on maybe 4 years, 5 years, maybe 5,
And
actually.
you guys met how?
Baby, that's the good tea.
I tell her, she you tell her. Okay. I'll tell it. So we had a mutual friend.
Okay.
And I had known, I think the first time obviously I had heard of you prior to meeting you.
Of course.
And so, yes. And so then I think you were having a birthday.
True.
And I was kind of like the plus one, like, when you bring like a random someone's birthday. And I came in, and I just remember seeing you, and you had like this dark purple hair. You kind of reminded me of like Psylocke, like X-Men.
Ooh, come on,
yeah.
no reference.
And you just like, I think you were fighting with
I
or
was.
something, and so I remember feeling like scared of you.
Like
I was
physically fighting?
No,
like arguing.
Okay.
my birthday, and she was the plus one of my friend, and I was fighting with this boy that I used to date because he like saw everyone coming, and he's like, "Oh, okay, we're going back to Oceanside." I was like, this is my birthday dinner we're about to go to. He's like, we're not going. Like, we're going back. So we started fighting, and then she walked in. I was like, why the fuck would they bring her as the plus one?
I was like, and everyone was like fighting. I'm like, oh, all right. And then I remember you like left. And then I think we like kind of chatted on social media after that a little bit.
I apologize.
Yeah, and then you just invited me to come over, and we did like a shoot, and that was kind of our first time hanging out, and it was cool. And we've been like really good friends ever since. I actually moved to LA right after that. So
okay.
Oh,
it was cool.
wow.
We were like neighbors.
We're down the street from.
Oh,
How did you end up in ballroom, David? The quick version.
baby, it's no quick version. It's no quick version.
Oh my god. No, I had a childhood friend. His name was Cayenne, who used to tell me about balls all the time, and I used to be like against it. And then I started dating this guy when I was maybe a year or two into being in the Air Force, and I was on leave in Baltimore. He took me to he was like, "Do you want to go to this mini ball? They got good drinks there." He was anti ballroom, but he wanted to be where the drinks were, and I was just like, I mean, I don't know, what is it? So we went, and I was just so fascinated, and just seeing everybody like teams and like these houses like really cheering each other on, and I was just like,
How did you decide like what category you would be in, or did somebody decide for you?
Yeah, I went to a ball in New York years later, and Schoolboy came. It was a Schoolboy category, Schoolboy Realness, and they were walking out, and I was like, I look just like them.
Yeah.
And I'm more attractive than most of the guys out here walking.
Come on, humility.
I could do this.
Yeah,
I mean, I really was. I was just like, I could do this. And you know, so the whole like I think the next couple of weeks, I was just like, I think I'm gonna walk a ball. I'm gonna walk a ball. And the Agas said they didn't see it at the time. Yeah, my gay mother at the time was like, "That's not for you. You're not ballroom. You go to college. Stay in college. You're a military boy. Like, this ain't your thing." And so I was like, "Well, fuck that. Then I'm gonna go to the House of Prodigy," because they were looking for him. They were trying to recruit me. And so on my way to the House of Prodigy induction meeting, one of the Agas stopped me and was like, "Where you going? You need to go to the Balenciaga meeting. You're a Balenciaga. You look like one. You're going to be a Balenciaga tonight." And I went. And
then what category do you guys compete in? Or do you guys walk balls?
Yeah.
I do face and sex siren, and whenever I want to walk, usually he just lets me do it.
Yeah.
I've done realness and face, but I feel like I could encompass anything I put my mind to, except the dancing category. I'm not really a dancer.
Yeah, and in ballroom, what we would refer to these two women is like all around femme queens, like trilogy, femme queen trilogy. So they could walk face, they could walk sex siren, they could walk realness.
Who are some of the famous Balenciagas in your house? I know Mariah, who was on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Honey is another one.
Miss Lawrence.
Miss Lawrence from Atlanta Housewives. Yancey, who is a celebrity hairstylist for like Whoopi Goldberg and Girls on The View.
We have Domino, Balenciaga.
Balenciaga. And my gay mother, Christian, who is like Ayanla's makeup artist and a couple other people. She does a lot of celebrities.
Shannon dressed the girl in Married to Medicine as well.
Oh yeah, Shannon, the overall mother. She
what
does
house
a lot of
is
styling
Amaya Scott in?
She was a Miss Rahi. I think she's a Margella?
overall mother now.
Do y'all know her?
Margella.
Y'all cool?
I love her. Yeah,
She's so pretty.
Yeah, she's one of my big inspirations.
Oh really? Have you guys like talked and?
Yeah, she is. She recently was here in LA, and we went to the Abbey, hung out, talked. She's really cool and beautiful.
She's very humble for like someone who's as famous as she is and as stunning as she is. She's extremely humble, which I love. We don't see that much amongst the trans girls. Usually they get famous and they're like a cunt afterwards.
What is the whole discussion about being passable? Is that like a thing, like with the girls who might not be as attractive? Is it like beef in the community?
No? I don't think it's...
Like they don't talk about it anymore because it's like rude amongst the like the they thems or like the what is it, the non-binary or binary? I don't know.
What is it?
The one
it's like
bad.
They get offended by the word passable, and but like when
the ones who aren't passing or get offended.
Right, and when I transitioned, you were either passable or you were hidden or you were dead. So like I'm like, we
God.
like literally like have worked so hard for the term has.
Right.
And now it's like we're being told it's a bad word.
And back in those days too, when that was a thing, the femme queens or trans girls would only really come out at night. They would come out late at night, or you know.
But I'm saying amongst the other trans girls, is it a lot of beef or is it like
we
friendly?
all hate each other.
Oh, really?
It's just
like girl stuff. It's just like
or like gay stuff.
So y'all be like, I'm not sharing my doctor with you.
Gay stuff.
Yeah,
more like gay stuff.
I'm very like, if I know you and we're cool, I don't mind, having those conversations or sharing. But it's like, if I don't know who you are, why would I go into my personal business and tell you personal details of my life when I don't even know who you are?
Right.
But
I
that's
was
just how I
trying
feel.
to like just give them something good to say when they leave, like because when I was coming up, when I would meet people that I idolized and they were like ridiculous, like I still to this day hold grudges against certain people. But they're also the ones that made me become who I am. Like I will like younger trans people should always like I will always like give them
back.
the time. I'll always give them the time that whatever they have questions.
Because I remember being that young, impressionable trans girl and just looking for somebody to just be nice to me.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And guide
I
you.
always will pick kindness and just being a good person.
How did you guys build your social media? And like, do you make money from your social media? Because you have large followings.
I think for me, I just started posting pictures and just having fun and playing with my hair and style and stuff. And from there, I remember getting a Fashion Nova contract, which was pretty cool because I'm one of the only Black trans models on there, which is like amazing. And from there, it kind of just blew up.
That's amazing.
Mine is like my followings from porn and then activism and.
Do you get like brand ambassador gigs stuff too? Like?
People try to, like I do a lot of work with Pornhub.
Okay.
And I don't really like accepting money for it if it's involved in trans stuff.
Okay.
But if it's just like show this sweater, I'm like send me the sweater
right.
everything else in that line.
Yeah.
Do trans men ever get attacked? Because I hear a lot about the women getting like killed.
I think they don't as much as the women.
I think people get it pretty easy. They
Really?
I feel like
take
people
some
aren't
hormones and
intimidated by a man. What they're intimidated by is a woman. That
Yeah.
maybe
Straight
used to
men
be.
love lesbians.
Yeah, I was gonna say the exact same thing. It's like
with the guys, like us doing this, it's offensive to the women and to straight men because
Yeah.
oh, you're tricking us, and the women are like, oh, you're taking our men. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, bitch, everybody wants to suck a dick. Like
Even the lesbians will be sitting there in a full get up, short hair, and be transphobic as fuck towards us. And it's like, are you delusional? Like we're cut from the same cloth, and you're like being judgmental.
How is it with you guys as like families? Do they still call you by your birth name or?
My family is amazing. I'm very blessed and privileged to have a supportive family. I know not every trans woman has that experience. So yeah, they call me as I am.
the
Amen.
majority of my family is amazing.
Is that called what they call it, the dead name? Call me by my dead name. Did you guys do the legal license thing? And what's that process like?
It's just basically you have to see a doctor, which will approve you to have the name changed. And then you have to go to the court and then the Social Security office.
Jesus.
And it is a process, but if it's important to you, it's worth it.
But you're
Of course.
female on yours.
Yes.
See, like for her, because she's from California, it's easier. I'm from the South, so they refuse to let us unless we have.
you
bottom
Oh
surgery.
no.
I'm a man named Husband on my ID, so like anytime I hit
And you
my
can't get a
ID
doctor to like lie and say.
I mean, I can like get my California license. And California license, you don't really even have to bring a note.
Oh,
like,
wow.
recently,
Wow.
California has become whatever you present yourself as. They allow you to do whatever.
You could do it easy. You just get a
Yikes.
lawyer.
So have you been pulled over by the cops and they're like something is not?
Once a long time ago, and they were like, "Oh, can she drive?" And then when they saw my license, they're like, "Sir, sorry, our bad, sir,
okay.
Mr.
Oh, my
Turner, can
God.
you come out here?"
That happened
No.
to me too.
Oh,
That's actually why
that makes
I
me wanna
got
cry.
it. That's why I was so adamant on getting it changed because I was like, I will never have a humiliating experience
Yeah.
like that ever again. So
And
like,
you
I'm
shouldn't
getting
have.
That shit changed.
Yeah.
I'm getting the birth certificate changed.
Yeah.
I did all the nines. I was like, no.
What
That's
would you
disgusting.
say has been the toughest
can't
part of your
believe
journey so far?
Other people.
Yep.
Probably
say
just judgmental straight people. You
And
know?
judgmental gays
I'm
probably.
like,
Yeah.
mine's more so like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What could be
I
hard?
mean, I can handle the gays, but I
Amen.
sometimes
Yeah.
just existing, being in life, like grocery store or like just, I don't know, social settings. Sometimes it just sucks to like feel not accepted or understood by peers.
Right.
I'd
And
love to just go swimming.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
And
not be judged or made fun of just for being
worried
who I am,
about what's going on downstairs.
Yeah. Have you ever felt like, I wish this wasn't my journey or my life?
I wish it was different, but if it was, I'd be some obnoxious fucking pussy. Like, I'm so glad that this is what I've gone through, because then I can share my experience with others. And also, I have such a more open mind, stuff, especially being in porn. Like, I came in and I didn't think I was judgmental because I'm a trans woman. Like, how could I? And then, but I found myself judging everyone for like their kinks and their fetishes. And it's really like what I've come to realize is not everything is for you to understand. So like, if I don't understand it, the only thing to help me get over that is to accept that it's not for me to understand.
Right.
And it kind of upsets me when people say that being who we are is a choice, because who would choose
to live
this
a
path?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
And then who would choose to be so boring and straight?
Yeah.
Like, that's not their fault. It's not their fault that they're so lame. Like, it just is.
But me being so close to these two, and I have another daughter who's not on the show, I worry like a lot about them. Just because, you know, I've been in ballroom 16 years. No, that's a lie. 17 years. And I've seen a lot of girls come and go. And, and you know, a lot of them, when they go, it's never like natural causes. It's violence or something like that. Yeah. So I've known a lot of those girls.
You guys have a lot of friends with a lot of those
girls. I have friends that have died from like silicone.
Oh.
Yikes.
So you have injections, like silicone injections?
In my ass, in my head.
Was it painful?
No, because they used to numb us, and I was like, oh, she uses this numbing stuff. They're like, yeah, your girl uses cocaine to numb you.
So was it like in a hotel room or like a medically?
Sometimes it was in a hotel, sometimes it was in a house, sometimes it was like...
Those are the old days.
Yeah, I didn't know numbing. I just went out of it.
Oh, you were a G.
I remember I hit the blunt and I was like, let's do this shit.
That makes it worse because
it's like a long needle.
I just needed to calm my nerves. I was so anxious.
Needle, depending on what they're doing.
It was huge.
Yeah, my needle was like that big, and then there's that huge syringe, and then she like literally dips it into a milk jug of silicone. I was like, I didn't need to sit
And it's like you can't sit down or lay on it for like 3 weeks?
No, it was probably a week for me.
Because for BBLs, it's like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah,
or something like
but
that.
that's different because it's safe. Safe from a doctor.
Well, last question. What is the best thing about your life right now in your journey?
Financially, I'm doing so much.
Amen.
I just like met a very, very supportive man. That's very well.
You got an uncle? Huh? He has an uncle.
A brother, cousin, nephew.
I'm like, you got a brother? What's up?
Does he have a sister?
Does he have anything?
How can I be down?
He has lots of friends.
Perfect.
Well, I would love to meet them.
They're all artists.
I would love to.
Are they her type or are they just white men?
They could be my type.
Yeah.
They could be.
He's the only white man in his crew, so like.
Oh, okay.
I like those kind of guys.
What's the best part of your journey so far?
I think that I'm just like happy, content for one of the first times really in my life.
Yeah.
Like I found me, and so that's really just it.
Oh, you know what? I'm lying. My happiest part is that she taught me how to be more proud of being trans and like finding the boringness in cis people and not trying to compare myself to cis people. She was the one who taught me like cis people. Ugh, why do you want to be that?
Yeah. There was always this narrative I think with trans women that like, oh my God, I'm born in the wrong body. Like I wish I was cis, and I'm like, why do people say that? They should be proud and own themselves. You work so hard to be who you are, and you should be proud to be a trans woman. And for me, I'm like, I don't want to be Sally down the street with a pussy knocked up at 19.
Okay, all this responsibility.
I was like, I love my life, and I love my extraness and everything that comes with it. And I think every woman should be proud of that.
Yeah.
What kind of advice do you give to the young girls coming up or thinking about transitioning?
Don't listen to the older girls. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Respect your elders. Own it. Totally.
Just own yourself. Confidence is key. Yeah. You're gorgeous, and trust the process.
Trust the process.
Amen.
Also consider the source of the comments. And it comes for you. Consider who told you that.
Yeah.
If they're not living the life that you find to your standard, then don't take it like as anything other than like shit. Like.
Yeah. And can I add one, even though I'm not of the trans experience? Take your time.
Yes. There is no rush.
Take your time.
I rushed.
What they call it, the slow cook girls? And
the microwave?
The microwave trans girls are just like an eye roll to me. But I kind of was like that as well. So like.
So while you were transitioning, were you guys still partying, or did you kind of like?
No, I was like, I'm going on hiatus. I got a mission. I'm gonna get boom, boom, boom. I like one day just pops up, and I was like, I'm here.
Were your surgeries painful?
Yes.
The healing was a long time?
Yes. Yeah. I think the worst for me was boobs.
Oh, see, like, I didn't think that was anything, and I had those done twice.
I remember, like, waking up, like, and I was like, I'm so thirsty. And I couldn't even lift my arm to get a glass of water.
Did you go to, like, Colombia or something?
No, I went in San Francisco to get it done, yeah.
Wow. Well, this has been an amazing conversation. Thank you guys for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Tell the people where they can find you guys, how to...
You can Google me.
Okay. Click the keys and Google me.
Domino Presley. If you don't want to see my thing in your face, then just look at Jasmine Valencia.
Check her out on Twitter.
Yeah, no, don't check me out on Twitter.
I'm good.
I've got enough followers.
And you, Taryn.
Wait, what was the question?
Where can people find you if you want them to find you?
Okay. Well, my name's Taryn Balenciaga, and you can find me on Instagram at The Flawless T, and that's with the A. I think it's The Flawless _T, to be specific.
Awesome. Well, good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.